My name is Benjamin Alagyira, a photographer in Nalerigu. What I consider as success as an entrepreneur is getting to a stage where you don't have to market your products, but yet you keep getting customers from all walks of life. That is very important because it's customers that defines how the income you will get at the end of everything. So I see that as a stage of success. Some of the key things I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey is that family and friends brings down businesses a lot. So I've been careful with that. And also, I've been careful with comparisons. Sometimes you have a business and you are comparing unnecessarily with people that are not even within your locality. That sometimes can bring you down. So you need to consider the setting you are, then you know how to scale up. So what has sustained me, let me start with my low moments, is not giving up. It got to a time I almost gave up, looking at the customers that were here and my work, but I felt like it's one step at a time. Don't have to give up. I think one of the achievements, or one of the things I consider an achievement, is ever working for some of the districts assembly within Northeast region. They hired me on a project to take pictures of some of their projects they have set up across the region. And I think working with the district officers, it was an achievement to me. Another achievement I consider is being able to go to Tamale to cover events, especially weddings. From where I am, people from Tamale sometimes call me. And I know there are numerous photographers and videographers in Tamale. So me moving from Nalerigu to Tamale, I consider that as an achievement. I consider my product market ready because we are moving into a world of digitalization. Everything is now digital. It was a time where people dealt so much with hard copy pictures and those things, but now most things are digital. So I felt like this is the best time to start with digital photography. And also that brings us to the right time to scale into other markets. I think I started with only photography and people were showing interest in the videography. You go to cover a wedding and they're asking you, oh, why can't you do video for us as well? So I felt like that was the interest of the people at that moment. And I decided to scale into another market, which was videography, separate from photography. And also, it got to a time that people were getting interested in frames. When you take pictures, they ask you, can't you frame it for us? So I felt like since that is an interest, then I have to start with something like framing of pictures. So I think sometimes you need to consider, as you are in a particular business, depending on the interest of the customers around and how people keep asking, you need to use that as an opportunity to scale into other markets. So some of the tips I want to give to startup, though I consider myself a startup as well, is that you don't have to do comparisons sometimes. If you are starting up, you need to consider where you are, your geographical location, consider the interest of the people, consider how your product can solve the problem around. If not, if you are copying someone who is in a bigger city or somewhere else, maybe the situation over there or the problem there might not be the same problem with that of your community. So you need to understand where actually you are before you can start any business. With how I raised funds, actually I think I started with a little. I never had any support from someone. Though I went to consult a number of people on how I wanted to start this, but they were not showing any interest. So when I was in school and we were being paid our allowances, I decided to save some to get a camera. I started the photography professionally with that. But then I'm still working on expanding, and I'm still working with some other individuals to see how I can raise funds to expand with regards to the media works. The growth strategy I'll talk of is making use of the opportunity around. If you are in a particular field and you realize that in this field I can easily scale up to another business, you need to make use of it. You don't have to be stagnant at one place. You should be flexible a bit to adjust to situations that can enable you grow. Because there might come a time where the product you started, people are not showing interest in it. So you should be able to quickly adjust to what others will be interested in. So the major fundamental pillars in building a startup is to have a unique idea and to be self-motivated. Sometimes taking your idea to someone, no matter how beautiful it might be, they might not see it. Since it's coming from you, you are the best person to see how unique and beautiful it is. So if you approach some number of people and they are not showing interest, that doesn't mean you should give up, or that doesn't mean it's not a valuable idea. You need to start pushing. And also, you shouldn't undermine little beginnings, no matter how little it is. When you start and people are seeing its benefits, then they would by all means come for your services, or those that are ready to support you would support you. So the unique components that the accelerator program in Ghana should focus on, in my idea, is how people really present their business opportunities or their startup, and how they are willing to pursue that. Others see other people somewhere, they are doing something and they are also willing to push in. But actually, you should focus on how that particular idea the person is bringing, how it can help their community. I think we will have a lovely country if we are able to have at every community people that are willing to offer services to satisfy the needs of the people, and not those people traveling to faraway places. I think that has always been my biggest inspiration. People used to move to other places to bring photographers for their weddings and other ceremonies. But then I felt like I can also start something here that my people wouldn't have to travel far. So I feel like my services to them is something that is really of a benefit to the whole community. So the accelerator program in Ghana should focus on startups that will satisfy the needs of people within a particular setting. And with regards to volume or value in entrepreneurship, I think value is important. I'll pick value because value will bring the volume. If your product is valuable or it has value, then more people would get to come to you, and that would bring volume. The final words I have for startups is that, as I spoke earlier on, let's keep pushing. At a point in time, we might feel like giving up, but we need to keep pushing. And we should focus on some particular things at a point in time. Sometimes when you want to do so many things at the same time, you would break down along the way. So focus on something you want to do, something that will be of help to people around, something that you think is unique, something that you think has the potential of scaling up in the near future. I think that's what we should go for. Thank you.